Hi, it's Nik and Adinah, and how are you today?
I'm doing all right. The weather's kind of changed a little bit, so a little you feeling
Cooler.
a little cooler. You feeling the air.
Yeah.
So it's getting time for some seasonal treats.
Oh,
Yes, a little chili and some other things. So I'm excited about that.
I think I always make chili, though.
You
I
do?
just made chili recently.
Yeah, ready for it.
Okay, you're here for that?
I'm here for everything. Everything my $44 paid for. I want.
Well, you got to explain the $44 people don't know.
Okay, so the $44. Way back when me and Adina first got married, marriage license cost $88. So now whenever something happens, like, hey, I paid my $44 for that. So,
And that's crazy because I think that was the only thing we split. Everything else you took care of.
yeah.
I'm not paying for that. You pay for everything, and you still pretty much pay for everything.
I do.
But I did give you those $44 for those licenses.
You did, so you could always you could always say, I want my money's worth.
I want my $44 back.
There you go. Yes, ma'am. So, what are we talking about?
We're talking about
I got us off
protection.
track.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
We're talking today about protection, and I had, we do the Ask Nik,
Oh, this is Nik and Adinah.
Nik and Adinah series, and someone said, how do you handle it if you don't feel protected by your spouse? Mm-hmm. And I think that's so important. So we just want to talk about it a little bit. I know when we were counseling couples for premarital, do you remember this? When we were counseling
I already know what you're going to say. Yeah.
we were in, the guy, he pulled a prank on his fiance and had the security guard at our organization jump out at her, and he ran off and left her. And it was so crazy because no one saw that humor in that.
Yeah, she literally got the security guard to kind of prank them, and he kind of jumped out, and dude bolted, left her.
And it was concerning because she was like, "How I don't feel safe now. It's a prank, but I don't feel safe with this guy because he ran off and left me. What if this would have been a real situation?" And that's so crazy because when we first met, I've always felt protected around you. I don't think I would have married you if I didn't feel protected. Mm. Yeah. I think your mom was one very big on, what was her saying? Cover the ground you walk on.
Oh no, she cover the ground you stand on. That was one of the things. She was like, hey, she's like, don't go looking for no fights. She was like, but if one come to you, you better stand your ground.
Yeah, you don't, and that was always my thing. I don't go looking for a fight, but I'm not losing one either. Mm-hmm. So I think that's so important. I think when we first met, and it's so funny because you see this mild-mannered,
very docile. Yes,
quiet guy here. But when we first met, he was 21, so young.
Young lad.
And he had like a street feel to him. And then I realized as I got to know him a little bit better that he was such a nerd. And that was so attractive to me too. So the fact that he had like an edgy street thing to him, just, I guess his swagger.
I was a chameleon. I knew what I needed to do.
And then when I got to know him, I realized he was such a nerd. And that was attractive to me too. And so I guess 24 years later, we're still hanging in there.
Yep. I'm still kind of nerd.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. So I think it's important to have a conversation if you don't feel protected. I think, ladies, and I think protection can go a couple of ways. It could be connected and protected in the relationship, whereas other people maybe could creep in and
connected and protected.
Yes.
All right. Look at you. I like that.
Other people can creep in and maybe date your spouse or get some of their attention. And I also think it's feel protected as far as if someone was to jump out, will that person defend you? I know one big thing too, and you didn't know this when we first started dating, and I feel like I'm doing all the talking, but
hey,
but
I'm just looking for a place to gracefully say something. That's all.
Okay, but you always walked on the outside of the street. If we were walking anywhere down the street, I thought it was always important that you walk on the outside. That way I would feel protected and it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. When we do premarital counseling, one thing that I always tell the men, I'm like, look here, I was like, if you're not willing to die for your spouse, can you truly say that you're willing to do anything to protect them? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying because if anything, Adina tell you like, I don't want you to die for me. I want you to live for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are certain situations where you have to understand, like, you know what, I will and may have to put myself in harm's way, and that's just really ultimately it. So I've always felt that way. Like I said, I've never gone out looking for fights, but I know, because to me, ultimately, I don't know how a woman, I think, could respect a man. Because I know I would struggle which I'm not a woman, but if I was a woman, I'm not a woman, no. I don't even play one on TV.
Yeah.
So, I don't think
you would be a cute woman at all either. You're a handsome man, but being a woman, no.
I was like, I think our daughter is cute, and I think she kind of look like me.
Oh, she's
a little
beautiful,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah, but she looks more like you to me. She's just around here. She looks
right there, right there. That part, Your Honor, she looks like me right here.
Right there. There you go. I think that's important. To I don't know how someone could respect me as a man or expect them if something happened. It's almost like how I just don't see it.
Yeah.
So and I can't even really put words around it. It's just to me that's simple.
Well, for both of us, respect is very important. So how do you respect your spouse? And so I think it requires a conversation if you don't feel safe around your spouse. And we have one of our videos is having a difficult conversation, because that would be a difficult conversation to have if you don't feel protected around your spouse.
And it's almost like this. It's tough because going into a relationship, I think that a woman would probably believe, like for instance, the example that I just gave, I think she believed that he would have protected her.
Mm-hmm. And he was a big guy. Do you remember that? Yeah,
but until something happens and it's revealed, I don't know what you do to try to get that back. Unless something else has to happen and you stand up,
Yeah.
So you really, you don't know when the situation's going to happen, but you really want to be there to protect them. Go ahead.
I think different things it's so crazy because I think, and we were doing premarital counseling. We haven't done premarital counseling in a while, maybe because of the pandemic. But we actually did that for about 15 to 18 years. We did it for a really long time.
Yeah.
But I think it's so important to understand. I think different strokes for different folks. I think different things matter to different people. I know when we were counseling one couple, and she said, well, if something broke on my car, and it's very important that person would take care of it. And I know a car that I had that I absolutely loved this car previously, and it's like my rearview mirror came off, and it's like you put that thing on there, I know 50 times. It just got to the point where I was like, I'll just ride without the mirror because I love this car so much. So I think different things matter to different people. Mm-hmm. And so for me, protection is very important. However, if a light is on in my car or, my rearview mirror decides to drop off and you try to fix it and it doesn't work, then I'm moving forward. But I think protection is one of those things where you may not be able to move forward.
Yeah, and I know this has taken more of a slant toward the guys as far as, hey, you know what, could a woman be with a guy who feels they wouldn't protect her? But I think also it's important when we think about there's a protection aspect also when it comes to the women to the men, and I think it's probably more emotional.
Yeah.
Do you feel emotionally protected as far as saying certain things? Because I've said this before, and I still kind of believe this. I feel that most of the time, women are not there's not like this physical aspect to what they can do as far as hurting a man, but there is this emotional thing that they can say through their words that can really cut deep. So I think also go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, now you're getting into my other video that I need to do, is the power of a woman. And I think when you talk about the power of a woman, and when you look at that, God took Adam's rib and made a woman from his rib. And it's like the one thing that you think about, the ribs protect the organs. And it's very important that the woman protects the heart of a man, because that's one organ we cannot live without. And so when we talk about protection in women, I think that goes into, are you protecting this heart? Are you making sure that you're not saying anything negative about him to other people and having that protection? Or when he comes to you in a vulnerable place, are you protecting that and being sacred about that?
Well said, honey. I completely agree.
Okay.
So there you go. I'm sorry, I won't force you to give any more of your nuggets away for your other video. But yeah, I think that is kind of two parts to it. And when we talk about protection, I think also you can kind of slant into security as well. Do you feel secure, in the relationship? But there's also, I think, that protection component there as well. But if we're talking about just physical security, just understand that, you have to be willing to, do whatever you have to, for that protection. And, it's not easy, dealing with all this stuff, but, men are built for it, so we can deal with it. So that's what I used to tell them all the time. I was like, hey, man, listen, we built for it, so suck it up, buttercup. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think you were pretty hard on that guy that day, too.
Yeah, I was hard on him. I was like, wait, man. If nothing else, if she decides to marry that guy, and she was gonna have to just basically take sprinting classes, because she's gonna have to get to the point where she got to be able to outrun this dude. So it is, what do they say about a bear? Like, you don't have to outrun the bear; you just got to outrun other people.
Yeah, that's scary though.
Yeah, you don't want that. So that's that's the Ask Nik and Adinah question of the day. As far as can you be? Let me word it correctly, honey.
How do you deal with? How do you deal with a situation that you don't feel protected by your spouse? That was from a woman.
Yeah. So what would you do? What are your thoughts about it? Please feel free to put it down in the comments below. We love to have that interaction with you all down there. Anything else you'd like to add, honey?
That's it.
That's it. All right. So that's it?
That's it.
I just want to look into your eyes again.
I'm going to say it again. That's it.
Oh, boy. I'm just happy. Okay, so thank you all for joining us here. Please, if you have not, share, and subscribe to our station, as we appreciate the interactions with you all, and just knowing that you all are out there and that you're getting value out of what we're doing. So, as I said before, this is my beautiful wife, Adinah. I am Nik Johnson. As always, we ask you to take care of yourself and keep loving one another.